Okay. It is Wednesday, my dudes, or at least it was a few hours ago, and time for an old man yapping. And one of the reasons that I'm late is that this week has not been going well. I've been working on, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to design the UI for the game. And I don't have a good idea for it. I don't have an image in my head of what it's supposed to look like or what would look good. And I've done some mock-ups and I don't like any of them. And I did a bunch of painting over the sprites like I was talking about in the showing up video for this week. And I really did not like the way that it came out looking, and I tested them in the game, and they looked like shit, and I don't like it, so I threw that out, and I reverted to the old placeholder graphics again, and I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with my ideas for the main menu, and I still haven't done any music for the game, and I'm not happy with the sound effects that I have available, and I don't like anything at the moment, and this is a normal thing when you're building shit. That you'll hit points, that you'll hit sometimes pretty extensive periods of time, that you just hate everything that you're doing, and it feels like a complete fucking waste of time, and you just have to keep beating your head against it and trying to fix the problem, because that's the only way that it gets fixed. But this happens, and it's important to recognize that it happens, and it's important to tell people that it happens, because it happens to me every fucking time. It happens repeatedly. It'll happen multiple times over the course of some projects. And I've got all kinds of little things, like I've got a document where I'm writing down plans for how the upgrades are going to look and how the upgrades are going to work, and I don't like it. I don't like the system, and I don't like the way that it's come together. And I don't feel like I'm doing a good job. And the reason I don't feel like I'm doing a good job is I'm not, because doing a good job is hard. And the stuff that I'm slapping together, I mean, I've worked on this game really hard for several months, for years, actually. I've been planning it. And when I sit down and go, okay, now I'm gonna do the sprites, it's gonna take more than a couple of hours or a couple of days, and designing the user interface is going to take longer than a couple hours or a couple of days, and you just kind of hand wave it on the way to the work. And just go, oh, that work won't be hard. That work won't be difficult at all. I can do that, no problem. And I can do it, no problem, but I haven't done enough thinking about it. It's like when you're painting and you go, I'll paint some trees, and you realize that you don't know what a tree looks like, because you've never really paid attention, because this is the first time you've ever really tried to draw trees, and now that you're trying to paint some trees, it's you don't know what you're doing. You have no idea what trees look like. You've seen trees. You know what a tree is supposed to look like. But then you paint it, and that's not what trees look like. How does that happen? There are 8 million ways that it happens. But regardless, the important thing is to remember, the work is harder than you think it is every single time. It's harder than you think it is, and it takes longer, and you need to think about it more. And it puts you in a place where you're going, why do I even fucking bother? Because it's worth it. Because it's worth it to bother. Because it's worth it to get it done. And I feel like for a lot of people that have never fought their way through this, they get to this point in the project and they go, oh, well, there must be a cheap and simple and easy way out. And there's really not. This is, of course, where they're positioning various AI tools. Just use the garbage farting computer machine to do the work for you, and then you don't have to do it. Yeah, but now the work still sucks, and it's not your work, and you put it out there, and people see it, and they go, you got that from the garbage farting computer machine. And now your entire game is completely uninteresting to everybody, and nobody gives a shit about your game or about you ever again. I swear the hatred for these tools is off the goddamn charts. And it's not with everybody, but it's with all the influential people. Like, there's absolutely a collection of people that think you could get your art from the machine, and none of them fucking matter. Every actual artist, every actual professional, all of the big names, all of the people whose respect you want, you will lose it by using this machine. So it's just, I mean, the cost of using these tools is so fucking insane. I mean, I've built neural networks. I know how the tools work. I understand exactly what they're for, exactly what they're supposed to be doing, where they actually fit into stuff. I won't fucking touch them. Because they're awful. They do a shit job, and you can tell that it's machine art. You can tell that it's machine writing. You can't tell that it's machine music because a lot of music composers are pretty shitty and formulaic. I myself am pretty shitty and formulaic, but I'm sure as hell not going to use a machine to do it. Mostly because I want to do something that's reminiscent of the soundtrack to Legacy of the Wizard for the old Nintendo Entertainment System, like the original one. I think that'll be really cool. But if you ask a machine to do it, it'll be too similar. So it's like, the way you make something sound similar is you start with like just the beginning of it, and then you take the end of it. You take the beginning of it and the end of it, and you make them sound almost exactly the same. And then the middle of it is twisted and weird and different. Because the middle is what people recognize as like the entire song. The intro is where they go, oh wait, this sounds like, and then right as they're going, this sounds like, you go into a different place and they go, oh, but wait, it's not. You start in the same way and you make them think of the thing you want them to think of, and then you go in a different direction. And they go, I guess it's not the thing that I thought it was, because it's not. And then at the end of it, you go back to sounding like the thing they thought it was. So they go, it really does remind me of that, though. And you just kind of dip in and out and crawl back and forth through the themes. And you always use multiple influences. You always use multiple different influences. You have the beginning of here and the middle there and the end there, and you patch them all together. One of my biggest problems when I compose music is I'm not good at having the body of the music. I do transition upon transition upon transition, and it's rare for any piece of music I do to last for more than like 20 to 30 seconds with a given theme in it. But for video game music on a timed level, that's actually pretty fucking good. Because you want the music to evolve every minute or two, and you want it to feel like a completely different piece. And one of the things I've been thinking about is I can construct the music to act in lockstep with the timer and to line up with events in the timeline. And I've been thinking about how to do that. I think it would be really cool if I just have like one 30-minute song and it's different, all the way through, all the way to the end of the level. I'm not sure whether I want to do an endless mode. And I'm not sure how I want to handle it if I do put in an endless mode. Like, how do I want to handle the music? Am I going to just continue the music that I'm already doing? If I'm looping like a 5-minute section, then that's just like loop, loop, loop. But it really annoys me when people loop a 90-second section. Anyway, I feel like the work I'm doing right now isn't very good, so I'm throwing a lot of it out, and it's making me feel kind of hopeless. But that's a natural part of the process, and you need to know that's a natural part of the process, to be at a point in building the game where you haven't thought enough about this part of the game. You've been thinking about other parts of the game, and this part needs you to put some attention into it, or it's not going to be any good. And I haven't put the attention into it yet, and when you've been going through and you got your plan and you go, well, I'll go through, and when I get to this part, I'll just do it. You get to that part and you just do it, and you haven't budgeted time and energy for the attention that needs to be paid to it. So you're trying to get by without paying attention to that aspect. And you can't. You have to rework your schedule and your budget to account for needing to give this aspect of it the attention it deserves. Otherwise, you're going to have a good game with one shitty part. And I'm unwilling to do that. So I got a lot of attention to pay to a lot of different things and a lot of stuff to build. And it's frustrating. And it makes me feel like everything is a waste of time and I should just give up on everything. But that is normal to feel that way. And I'm not going to fucking do that. And if you get to that point where you're feeling that way, you shouldn't do that. Keep plugging on the thing. Do the thing. Give the features the attention they deserve and make them happen. I got a bunch of features that need attention that I haven't put into them. I haven't designed the main menu yet. I haven't, I know what the config dialog looks like, but I haven't put enough energy into localization. How am I going to handle translations? I don't plan on having any translations, but if there's demand for a translation, I want to be able to add one. Similarly, the graphics, can you play the game in full screen? Can you play it in a borderless window? Can you play it in various different window sizes? What does that look like? How does that work? How does that fit together? How does the playfield change? Do we zoom in on the graphics when you make the playfield bigger? Or do you just make the playfield bigger and everything stays the same size? What if you make everything really small? Do things shrink to account for that? Or do they just stay the same size and you reduce your playfield size? I haven't answered those questions. I haven't worked on that stuff. I need to pay attention to that, and I need to answer those questions and figure out what's going to happen. I think everything should scale, but at the same time, I think the aspect ratio should stay the same. Oh no, God damn it, I got something in my eye. I hate it when that happens. But yeah, that's where I am. I'm just having I'm having a difficult time. And that happens. And you just have to fight through it because there's nothing else for it. You gotta fight through it because nobody's gonna fight through it for you. That's the life of a solo dev. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are at the moment. So do a little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And okay, bye.